Welcome back to Echoes from the Battlefield. I'm your host Nasirullah John Safi. Before we dive into today's episode, let's recap where we left off. In episode 1 or in part 1, we set the stage. We talked about the unease surrounding the mission, the flawed positioning of vehicles, and the concerns raised in briefing rooms both at Combat Outpost Monty and Forward Operating Base Joyce. We learned that Lieutenant Johnson and Staff Sergeant Kennefic had serious doubts about the mission, but despite warnings, the decision was made to push forward. Then, in episode 2 and part 2, we stepped into the chaos of the ambush. The first shots rang out. Desperate calls echo over the radio. Requests for support were repeatedly denied. And then, in a moment of sheer determination, Dakota Meyer made the call, "Let's go." Defying orders, Dakota and his team pushed forward knowing that if they didn't, their brothers wouldn't make it out. And now, we are at part 3, the final chapter. Today I take you into the heart of the battle. We will walk through the moments that push the limits of courage and survival in one of the most intense engagements of the war. We also uncover the fates of the Medal of Honor recipient Dakota Meyer, his brothers in arms Lieutenant Michael Johnson, Gunnery Sergeant Edwin Johnson, Staff Sergeant Aaron Kennefic, Navy Petty Officer 3rd Class James Layton, a medic and an Army sergeant, along with dozens of Afghan soldiers, including one of my closest friends, Wally, an interpreter. Wally was more than a friend, he was a brother to me. This was supposed to be his last mission before returning home to get married, but fate had other plans. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, I encourage you to go back and catch up. But if you're ready, stay tuned for the final chapter of Let's Meet the Medal of Honor, Dakota Meyer.